Listen very carefully to this story. Takumi ran hurriedly down the mountain path, cursing under his breath as the tree branches scratched his arms. He was late for an important university exam and feared failing if he didn't arrive on time. In his haste, Takumi tripped on a stone, stumbled, and fell face down. The contents of his backpack scattered everywhere. With a grunt of frustration, he began to hurriedly gather his belongings. "Why such a rush?" a kind voice inquired. Takumi looked up to see an old man sitting peacefully under a nearby oak tree. The man, with a long white beard and wearing a simple gray tunic, seemed to Takumi to be at least 100 years old. "That exam. What if you suffer a heart attack because of this rush?" the old man asked with a gentle smile. Takumi rolled his eyes. "Look, I'm not trying to be rude, but I really have to go," he responded hastily. The old man nodded understandingly. "Okay, but first, hear me out for a minute. I have something to teach you." Reluctantly, Takumi sat down in front of the old man, visibly impatient. "My name is Satoru, and I am 105 years old. I have learned many secrets of longevity in my travels, which I would like to share with you," Satoru said. Takumi showed visible astonishment. How could this man still be alive and so vigorous? "The first secret I want to reveal to you is the power of breathing. Most people do not know how to breathe correctly. Observe how I do it," Satoru instructed. The old man closed his eyes and began to inhale slowly through his nose, his abdomen expanding with air. Then, he exhaled gently through his mouth, repeating this cycle several times. Mesmerized, Takumi began to imitate Satoru's breathing. Initially, he felt silly, but soon a sense of calm enveloped his body and mind. Breathing is the vital force that connects us with the world. When you breathe quickly and superficially, you are disconnected. But when you focus your attention on breathing deeply and calmly, you connect with the present moment, and all stress and worry begin to fade away, Satoru explained. After a few minutes, Takumi opened his eyes, feeling surprisingly refreshed, as if he had meditated for hours. "Wow, I had no idea breathing could have such an effect. I feel much calmer and focused now," Takumi admitted, genuinely impressed. Satoru smiled. "Practice conscious breathing as much as you can, young friend. It will strengthen your body, mind, and spirit, prolonging your life." Takumi glanced at his watch and stood up quickly. "Oh no, now I'll really be late. I must run," he exclaimed. "Remember to breathe," Satoru said, chuckling. "I will, and thank you for the wise advice," Takumi called out as he resumed his run down the hill. As he ran, he began to inhale and exhale deeply, feeling a new vitality with each step. Arriving panting at the foot of the mountain, his chest burning but his mind unusually calm, Takumi was relieved to still be in time for his exam. 3 days later, walking through the university campus, he found himself reflecting on his brief but profound encounter with Satoru. There was something truly special about that man, who radiated vitality despite his age. On an impulse, Takumi decided to skip his last classes of the day and return to the mountain to seek out the wise old man. He wanted to learn more about his secrets for longevity. Retracing his steps along the mountain path, Takumi whistled happily, inhaling the pure air of the forest. He finally saw Satoru sitting under the same oak tree, as if no time had passed since their last meeting. "Satoru, I am very pleased to see you again," Takumi greeted, bowing. "Takumi, what a pleasant surprise. Have you continued practicing the breathing I taught you?" Satoru asked with an affable smile. "Yes, it's helped a lot to reduce stress and focus. But tell me, what is your next longevity secret?" Takumi asked eagerly. Satoru chuckled. "I see that you are full of enthusiasm. Very well, listen carefully to my second secret. But first, come with me. The old man led Takumi up the hill towards a sparsely traveled path. After walking in meditative silence for almost an hour, they arrived before some imposing wooden doors with strange carvings. "This is a Zen monastery," Satoru announced as the great doors opened, revealing two monks with shaved heads who seemed to have been anticipating their arrival. Takumi followed Satoru into the mystical enclosure. The monastery, hundreds of years old, was an architectural marvel, constructed from aromatic woods and bamboo. It was surrounded by still ponds and lush gardens. The monks, in long saffron robes, moved barefoot and in complete silence. Satoru led Takumi to a small pagoda for tea. A young monk served them steaming cups, eyeing Takumi with a curious gaze. Celibacy and sexual abstinence are not only parts of our spiritual discipline, Satoru began, sipping his green tea, but also nourish our body and longevity by preserving the essence of life. The monk nodded solemnly, adding, "It enriches the kidneys, the bone marrow, and the brain, according to our ancient medicine." Takumi, fascinated, had never considered sexual abstinence from a medical viewpoint. "But isn't it against nature to repress sexual urges?" he asked, doubtfully. "It's not about repression, but about channeling that energy creatively," Satoru explained. Sexual desire can be transformed into artistic inspiration, compassion towards others, or mental clarity. Most waste their jing on fleeting pleasures, but when contained and redirected, it can feed your longevity and awaken higher states of consciousness. Takumi remained thoughtful. This would mean profound changes in his lifestyle, yet the more he pondered, the more it made sense. "Now, I must leave, but remember, Takumi," Satoru said, rising to leave, "preserving your jing can extend your life and expand your perception. Use it wisely." Satoru bid farewell with a wink. "You are welcome to stay and meditate with us as long as you like," the young monk, Sunao, offered warmly. Takumi decided to stay several days at the Zen monastery, embracing the contemplative routine of the monks, rising at dawn for meditation by the lotus pond, then partaking in the daily chores of the monastery. Satoru's teachings on the conservation of Jing energy deeply resonated with Takumi. He felt an inner transformation, his sexual energy sublimating into meditative states of stillness and clarity. One afternoon, after dining on wild vegetables with rice and miso, Takumi was summoned by Master Z, the venerable 87-year-old head of the monastery, known for his serene and childlike countenance. Master Z, radiating wisdom and passion, invited Takumi to sit on a cushion before him. "I have heard much about you, young Takumi," he began in a friendly tone. "You have been progressing rapidly under Satoru's and Sunao's guidance, but you are not yet ready to understand the next secret. You must undertake a journey." Takumi bowed respectfully. "I am at your command, Master. I will go wherever necessary. Travel west, following the course of the setting sun, to the tea fields of Yukai village. My old friend, Lady Hina, resides there. She will reveal to you the next secret," instructed Master Z. "Let the north wind guide your steps." That same afternoon, Takumi packed his few belongings and left the monastery. He journeyed tirelessly until sunset, resting beneath a leafy almond tree. At dawn, he continued his pilgrimage, feeling light and full of vitality, his senses heightened to the sounds and images of nature. After 3 days, the brilliant green tea fields of Yukai village came into view. Inquiring among the locals, Takumi soon found a small bamboo hut adorned with a crane engraving. He called out hesitantly, "Hello, is Lady Hina here?" A tiny, very wrinkled woman, barely reaching Takumi's waist, opened the door. Her eyes sparkled with recognition. "Young Takumi, come in. I have been expecting you," she said with a knowing smile, inviting him inside. Amazed by Aoi's hospitality and prescience, Takumi respectfully removed his shoes before entering the cozy cabin. The interior was adorned with delicate paper lanterns and aromatic incense that filled the air with a calming scent. "Please, sit down," Aoi offered, gesturing towards a cushioned area. Takumi settled in, taking a sip of the tea she offered. He felt a comforting warmth spreading through his chest. Aoi, looking at him with indulgent eyes reminiscent of a doting grandmother, her face softened by kindness, spoke, "This green tea, grown in my field for countless years, contains the next secret you seek." Takumi's eyes widened in intrigue. Green tea, rich in powerful antioxidants called catechins, can prolong life by eliminating harmful free radicals from the cells, Aoi revealed. "I have drunk it daily, and look at me. I am 98 years old, but possess the spirit and health of someone 50. Aoi then proceeded to pour her own cup of steaming tea and motioned for Takumi to join her in meditation. They sat on traditional safa mats, savoring the brew in contemplative silence for almost an hour. Takumi felt a sense of floating, nourished to the core of his being. After they finished, they conversed until sunset. Before retiring for the night, Takumi assisted Aoi in collecting tender tea buds, which she dried inside her cabin. "Take a supply of these tea buds with you," Aoi instructed, "so you can make your own life-prolonging tea infusion every day. Also, share them with others, for a generous heart reaps the greatest rewards." Takumi accepted the gift with deep gratitude, tying a bag of tea buds to his luggage. Resuming his journey, Takumi felt inspired by the knowledge Aoi had imparted about the protective and anti-aging powers of miraculous green tea. Leaving the peaceful village, he continued northward, aimlessly trusting that destiny would lead him to his next revelation. As he walked, he regularly sipped a green tea infusion, revitalized by its antioxidants. As night fell, Takumi sought refuge in a small cave at the foot of Mount Haku. He used his bundle of clothes as a pillow and fell into a deep, restful sleep, soothed by the whispering wind among the pines. Waking to the chirping of morning sparrows, he stepped out of the cave and marveled as the morning mist lifted, revealing a sky of pure blue. The sun began to warm his skin when he heard a familiar voice. "Good morning, Takumi. I see you have been traveling since we last met," exclaimed Satoru, appearing unexpectedly. Takumi, startled, turned around and was relieved to see the old man. "What a surprise to find you here," he exclaimed. Satoru smiled warmly, stroking his white beard. "In these mountains, one is never truly alone. The spirits of nature are ever present, coming and going as they please." After a respectful bow, Takumi eagerly asked, "Satoru, what is the next secret to longevity you will reveal to me?" Satoru's eyes twinkled cunningly. "You have learned well that breathing in gene energy can nourish your subtle body. Now, you are ready for a more advanced lesson, the noble path of meditation." Leading Takumi to a rocky clearing in front of the cave, both settled cross-legged on silk cushions Satoru had brought. "Meditation is the art of non-thought," Satoru began. "In the restless and hyperactive mind of most people, there's no space for restorative silence. But by quieting your thoughts, you can access deep states of consciousness that activate the body's self-healing mechanisms." He then instructed Takumi to close his eyes and observe the flow of his thoughts like passing clouds, gently returning his focus to his breath whenever his mind wandered. Breathing deeply in unison, Takumi and Satoru meditated together for almost an hour, their deep silence punctuated only by the occasional chirp of a solitary bird. In this meditative state, Takumi experienced ecstatic states of mental expansion, where he felt an overwhelming oneness with the universe. As he slowly returned to his normal consciousness, Satoru looked at him with a paternal smile. "The mind is the origin of our bodily states," Satoru explained gently. "When you manage to quiet its feverish chatter through meditation, creating space for pure self-awareness, each cell in your body regenerates. It vibrates in harmony with the primordial frequencies of nature. This is the prelude to a life free from aging or illness. Deeply moved by these words, Takumi bowed in gratitude. He now understood that inner silence was not just a path to peace, but the greatest insurance for health and longevity. From now on, meditate as much as you can, Takumi. Our existence is fleeting, but inner stillness connects us with eternity, Satoru advised. When you master meditation, nothing will be able to harm you. Your body will remain young for centuries, like mine, he predicted, before vanishing serenely into the mountain mist. Motivated by his encounter with Satoru, Takumi decided to extend his stay on the mountain to dedicate himself entirely to meditation. He found a small clearing among bamboos, where he set up a simple camp. There, he spent long hours sitting in silence, feeling the gentle sunlight filtering through the leaves, swaying in the breeze. When not meditating, Takumi would lie on his back, eyes closed, absorbing the vibrant energy of the earth. Sometimes, he walked barefoot among the ferns, watching ants carrying leaf fragments like enormous burdens, feeling a profound connection with these small but tirelessly dedicated creatures. After 2 weeks in complete solitude, Takumi reached intense states of non-dual consciousness, opening a world of magic and charm. He realized, however, that he couldn't live in the mountains forever. One night, after sipping a bowl of green tea, he felt an inner call that his journey of initiation must continue towards the prosperous plains of the east. Descending from the mountain, Takumi followed a path winding towards rice fields. There, he encountered a group of farmers who welcomed him, offering food in exchange for his help in scaring sparrows away from the fields. After the harvest, Takumi continued his journey, eventually arriving in a town with narrow streets filled with the aroma of fresh fish and seaweed. In the market, Takumi heard an older woman, Saki, praising the quality of her oats and other fermented cereals. Sensing another possible secret to longevity, he struck up a conversation. Saki, a smiling old woman with rosy cheeks, warmly invited Takumi to her home for breakfast. Over bowls of rice with pickled vegetables and grilled fish, she shared how she attributed her longevity to a diet rich in lacto-fermented foods like miso, kimchi, kombucha, and sourdough bread. These rejuvenating foods balance my digestive system and nourish my intestinal microbiome, Saki explained, serving a second helping of rice with alfalfa sprouts. Modern people have forgotten that our ancestors used to ferment almost all their foods. It was a way to better preserve their nutrients and beneficial properties through the action of healthy bacteria. I have been eating like this since I was a child, and look at me now, 92 years old, full of energy like a teenager, Saki said with a laugh, her eyes twinkling with vitality. After the meal, at Takumi's request, Saki gladly agreed to provide him with a few jars of her famous homemade fermented preserves, ensuring he could continue to benefit from their probiotics during his journey. As they prepared the jars, Takumi expressed his admiration for Saki's youthful vitality despite her age. "There's nothing extraordinary about me. I just try to keep my invisible allies happy," she said with a mischievous wink. Takumi raised his eyebrows, intrigued. "Invisible allies?" he inquired. "That's right," Saki replied. "I'm referring to the vast community of symbiotic microbes living inside me, protecting me in exchange for being well-fed. They're key to longevity, influencing almost all body functions, including the brain." This sparked Takumi's interest, and he listened intently as Saki explained the latest discoveries about how the state of the intestinal microbiome could regulate everything from the immune system to neurotransmitters controlling mood and sleep. "One who masters his intestinal bacteria can prolong his life beyond imagination," Saki concluded with a smile, her eyes gleaming with wisdom. Upon saying goodbye, Saki handed Takumi a jar of her richly fermented and bubbly kimchi, cautioning him to consume it in moderation. Takumi thanked her profusely and walked away, tasting a small portion of the kimchi that erupted like a festival of life on his palate, leaving a pleasant tingle in his stomach. Carrying a backpack stocked with fermented foods and enlightened by the knowledge of intestinal microbiome longevity, Takumi ventured into a grove of bamboos and oaks stretching to the south. He especially enjoyed this part of the journey, walking barefoot to feel the earth's vital energy with each step. As the afternoon waned, Takumi improvised a camp at the foot of a leafy oak tree with a twisted trunk. After frugally eating some vegetables from his supply, he curled up on the grass, using a protruding root as a pillow. Before drifting off to sleep, Takumi silently thanked his invisible allies, the multitudes of intestinal bacteria, for nourishing him so faithfully. Suddenly, the rustling of a twig woke him at the edge of dawn. Opening his eyes, he saw the long legs of an old man standing close by. It was Satoru, almost stepping on him. "Satoru, you almost scared me to death," Takumi exclaimed, hand on his chest. The old hermit chuckled. "A little fright is healthy now and then. I see you are sleeping soundly, embraced by Mother Earth." "That pleases me," Satoru said, helping Takumi to his feet. He invited Takumi to walk with him to an ancient oak tree standing majestically in the forest's heart. Its gnarled roots, embracing time-eroded rocks, testified to countless generations. This oak has witnessed the passing of ages, sustained by telluric sap and converting sunlight into food, Satoru said reverently, gently caressing the tree's bark. The ancients knew that sleeping on bare earth or walking barefoot on grass and stones channels its healing energy, strengthening bones and muscles, calming the mind, he explained. Takumi also placed his palm against the tree's trunk, closing his eyes. He soon felt a comforting tingling flow from the earth into his body, like being bathed in golden liquid, an electrifying, nourishing sensation. The earth's energy has regenerative properties. Drinking spring water or hiking in the woods barefoot helps too, Satoru said, his laughter echoing. "I've been walking like this since I was a child, and look at me, over a century old but still able to climb trees like a squirrel." Satoru then showed Takumi how to hug the tree trunk, placing his cheek against the bark to feel its vital heartbeat. Takumi, eyes closed, was ecstatic at the contact with the warm, fragrant wood, a sacred, energetic communion. Remember, Takumi, connect daily to the telluric flow. Sleep on the ground or meditate at the foot of a tree. This interface with nature will balance your biomagnetics and prolong your life, Satoru advised before saying goodbye. Deeply moved by the lesson, Takumi spent the rest of the day in contemplation, in the shadow of the father oak, absorbing the forest's wisdom. He felt stronger and younger, as if the telluric vibrations had awakened something ancient and powerful within his DNA. That night, he slept nestled among the roots of the patriarchal tree, lulled by the gentle murmur of the wind through the leaves. In his dreams, he envisioned his body growing deep roots, absorbing the earth's telluric energy straight into his bones. Waking up rejuvenated, Takumi felt ready to continue his journey of self-discovery. His respect for Mother Earth deepened, acknowledging her as a guardian of human well-being and longevity, harnessing powerful electromagnetic energies. Over several moons, Takumi wandered alone, learning the secrets of longevity from venerable elders or through synchronous revelations of destiny. His spirit expanded, soaring like an eagle's infinite flight. One morning, while meditating in the lotus position by a stream of pristine waters, he had an epiphany that guided him towards the sacred Kunlun Mountains, home to ancient Taoist monks. After weeks of trekking through deserted, rugged landscapes, traversing gorges, and ascending steep slopes, Takumi arrived, exhausted but ecstatic, at the mythical abode. According to Satoru, this was where arcane secrets to transcend the limits of mortal life were kept. The doors of the Kunlun Monastery opened before him as if by magic, and the young monk Zhang, seemingly expecting him, greeted him by name. After a purifying ritual with incense and aromatic oils, Zhang led Takumi to a frugal meal of oatmeal porridge, fermented goat's milk, and Tibetan roasted barley beer. This simple, nutritious meal seemed to replenish the weary pilgrim's vitality. Jiang then silently guided him to a circular room, where Takumi, surrounded by luxurious silks, surrendered to the deep sleep of one who has reached his destination after endless sacrifices. At dawn, Yang returned to escort Takumi to the sacred heart of the Kunlun complex, the Celestial Grotto Garden, a verdant oasis of bamboo and ornamental plum trees, perched miraculously on a cliff. There, seated on a lotus fiber mat, was the legendary patriarch, Lu Dongbin himself, the monk who, according to lore, had discovered the elixir of immortality. His appearance was youthful, his skin smooth, and his mustache as black as crow's wings, belying his age. "Welcome, Takumi. Sit with me. The time has come for you to learn the final secret to expand the limits of your existence," said the patriarch in a crystalline voice. Takumi bowed deeply, filled with reverence, and settled before the immortal monk. "You have purified your mortal vessel with pranic breathing, energetic celibacy, natural antioxidants, and the telluric connection. You have expanded your mind beyond ordinary thought through meditation and communion with wise elders," Lu Dongbin continued. "But no transformation is permanent until you learn the secret of the phoenix being reborn from your own ashes. You must first die to your former self, limited by time, for immortal luminosity to emerge." The immortal monk then placed his hands in a diamond position, chanting mantras in an ancient, primitive language that resonated like sea waves crashing against rocks. Suddenly, the sky seemed to illuminate with the light of 1,000 suns. Takumi felt his mortal ego dissolve, bursting into thousands of rainbow sparks. In its place, a new consciousness emerged, intuitive, eternal, free from time and decay. He felt immortal. After what seemed like a brief nap, Takumi awoke under a flowering plum tree, gazing at a sky full of dazzling constellations like never before. Lu Dongbin placed a hand on his shoulder, smiling beatifically. "You have been reborn, my son. You are now one with the Tao, the eternal source that nourishes all existence. May your spirit illuminate the world with compassion." Handing Takumi a lotus seed, Lu Dongbin watched as he swallowed it, feeling waves of light flood every cell of his being. He realigned his biomagnetics to the primordial vibrations of the universe. After that transformative dawn, Takumi no longer harbored any fears of old age or death. He became a guiding light for humanity, steering others towards paths of infinite longevity. He walked among people with equanimity and detachment, in each face seeing a reflection of the divinity that permeates all existence. To this day, those who transcend the veil of the ordinary can recognize Takumi, whether disguised as a farmer, a beggar, or a wise man, traversing the paths of Tibet and blessing the sincere-hearted with the wisdom of everlasting life. Dear viewers, as we conclude this inspirational tale of Takumi and his journey to unearth the ancestral secrets of longevity, let's reflect on his remarkable path. He was graced with the chance to learn from venerable teachers like Satoru, Aoi, Saki, and Lu Dongbin, who imparted ancient wisdom to extend his life in a healthy manner. Now, we will meticulously dissect these 20 exceptional secrets for you to assimilate into your own lives. It's imperative that you jot down these insights on paper as we explain them, pausing the video if necessary. Ideally, revisit this video multiple times to indelibly imprint this knowledge into your subconscious. Longevity and sustained youth aren't just a stroke of luck or genetic fate, they are the direct results of embracing a lifestyle in harmony with the natural laws of our bodies. By applying the wisdom we're about to share, you too can enjoy a life replete with health, mental clarity, and well-being. So, ready your notebooks and pens, as these 20 secrets will radically alter your perception of aging and how to overcome it. Let's begin unraveling these 20 ancient secrets for longevity. Remember to take detailed notes on each, using letters for better clarity. Conserve seminal energy. Excessive ejaculation depletes our reserve of vital essence or jing, located in the kidneys. According to traditional Chinese medicine, jing is crucial for our body's energy levels for everything from immunity to mental clarity. Losing yin energy during orgasm weakens our immune system, bone strength, and mental acuity over time. However, through celibacy or tantric sex, where sexual energy is redirected without ejaculation, we can sublimate this vital essence, enhancing bodily vigor. Abstaining from ejaculation for just 2 weeks can significantly boost testosterone levels, leading to increased muscle mass, motivation, and well-being. After 45 days, the energy gains become even more pronounced. Our ascetic ancestors embraced celibacy for years, emerging rejuvenated and living long lives. To conserve Jing, avoid compulsive masturbation, moderate sexual activity, and consider practicing tantric sex. This practice, which involves controlling breathing and PC muscle during lovemaking, directs orgasmic energy through the spine to the brain, fostering longevity. Breathing deeply is one of the most potent yet underrated habits to gain years of full life. It's about more than just inhaling and exhaling. It's about breathing better. Our contemporary culture often leads us to breathe shallowly, taking in less oxygen than our bodies inherently need. However, by relearning to breathe deeply, we can counteract the aging process. When we breathe deeply, we activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which serves to balance the harmful effects of chronic sympathetic stress. This deeper breathing allows us to ingest more oxygen, the primary nutrient for our cells, optimizing gas exchange, cleansing toxins, and strengthening the immune system. In turn, greater brain oxygenation gives us enhanced mental focus and boosts psychic energies. Respiratory practices, such as the Sudarshan Kriya from the Art of Living, founded by the long-lived Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, are designed to restore cellular health and prolong life. Just a few minutes a day of conscious breathing can make a significant difference. The key to this practice is to inhale deeply, feeling the abdomen expand to maximize the amount of air inhaled, and then to exhale completely, releasing all the used air. This process purifies the blood, reduces chronic inflammation that accelerates aging, and connects us to our energy axis, calming the mind for optimal brain functioning. The systemic regenerative effect of deep breathing effectively combats senescence. Therefore, remember to inhale deeply and exhale consciously often. Your longevity will thank you for it. The habitual consumption of green tea is another practice associated with long-lived populations, such as those in Okinawa. Studies confirm that the catechins in green tea possess a powerful anti-aging effect. They intervene in multiple physiological pathways regulating longevity, both by mitigating oxidative stress and modulating protective genetic expressions related to long-term cell survival. Over time, these catechins suppress pro-inflammatory enzymes, maintaining arterial flexibility and preventing the formation of atheromatous plaques, which can lead to cardiovascular events. This angiogenic virtue translates into a notable cardiovascular geroprotective effect. Moreover, green tea strengthens the immune response against infections and prevents tumor metastasis, thus improving the vital prognosis in cases of infectious diseases and cancer. The various molecular actions of green tea synergize to enhance immune function and DNA replication, combating degenerative processes linked to aging. The simple habit of adding a few cups of green tea to your daily routine can attenuate these age-related degenerative processes, making it a nutraceutical of significant value. Meditating daily is another crucial factor for longevity, especially in our contemporary world where chronic psychophysiological stress is rampant. Ancient Ayurvedic medicine already recognized meditation as the most powerful rasayana, or regenerative remedy, surpassing even nutritional supplements. Abundant research corroborates the anti-aging effect of various meditative techniques. For instance, a study by Dr. Blackburn of the University of California showed that just 12 minutes a day of meditation activated protective genes in chromosome telomeres related to longer life expectancy. Another study revealed that transcendental meditation reduced biological age by an average of 12 years after just 6 months of regular practice, effectively reversing telomere shortening. Beyond gene expression, meditation exerts a powerful anti-aging effect through relaxation, countering age-related inflammatory responses and balancing the hyperactive HPA axis due to the current hectic pace of life. By expanding consciousness and reducing ego identification with the phenomenal world, meditation extends life by connecting us with our inherently immortal spiritual nature, beyond the body and mind. This expansion of consciousness brings equanimity in the face of the impermanence of mundane life. In short, regular meditation, whether transcendental, mindfulness, or any practice focused on the present moment, offers greater longevity due to its profound psychobiological effects, ranging from genetic expression to a radical transformation of existential perspective. Consuming fermented foods is also key to longevity. Lacto-fermented foods such as yogurt, sauerkraut, kimchi, kombucha, or sourdough bread have been a staple in the human diet for millennia. Cultures with the greatest longevity, like the Caucasians, consume these foods daily. Science now explains that their probiotic and prebiotic effects are crucial for maintaining a healthy intestinal microbiome, which is essential for a long life. These foods enhance gut health, boosting immunity, and facilitating nutrient absorption, thereby supporting overall health and longevity. When our intestinal microbiota becomes dysbiotic due to bad habits such as a sedentary lifestyle or a diet high in processed foods, it triggers a chronic inflammatory cascade with systemic effects detrimental to health. However, fermented foods help restore the ideal bacterial balance, reducing low-grade inflammation associated with accelerated aging and pathologies such as Alzheimer's or heart disease. Oral probiotics also reinforce intestinal immunity, preventing infections while increasing the production of anti-inflammatory compounds like short-chain fatty acids. This immunomodulatory virtue is associated with greater survival against common diseases in the elderly. In parallel, bioactive compounds present in fermented foods, such as lactic acid, peptides, and vitamins, optimize metabolic functions and liver detoxification, further reducing the body's inflammatory load. Including some sauerkraut, kefir, or kombucha daily can significantly delay aging by promoting healthy interactions between a robust microbiome and an alert immune system, as well as an efficient metabolism. Walking barefoot on the earth, especially when walking or sleeping on it, subtly transfers highly ordering quantum electrons from the Earth's surface to our body. This electromagnetic transfer, though not perceptible to our ordinary senses, has a powerful anti-aging effect. It neutralizes free radicals that contribute to DNA replication damage and restores the optimal electrical potential of intracellular membranes and macromolecules. This telluric connection promotes bioelectrical homeostasis, the foundation of physiological self-regulation, optimizing our internal biology. Periodically fasting and intermittently restricting food intake is an ancient practice that modern science now vindicates for its multiple health and longevity benefits. Fasting activates repair genes and cellular autophagy mechanisms that eliminate damaged proteins and organelles, optimizing molecular recycling and tissue renewal. By inducing a metabolic state of ketosis, where fatty acids are burned instead of glucose as the primary fuel, fasting reduces insulin levels and key aging-related signaling mechanisms. Induced autophagy and ketosis eliminate accumulated senescent cells. Fasting also promotes the release of endorphins and human growth hormone, HGH, aiding in the regeneration of the nervous and muscular systems. Intermittent fasting periods of 12 to 72 hours can even induce the formation of new neurons from stem cells, reversing cognitive decline. Sleeping early and waking up early aligns with our circadian rhythms, which regulate nearly all cellular and systemic functions. Disrupting our internal biological clock with habits like staying up late and sleeping less increases the risk of chronic diseases associated with accelerated aging. By respecting natural sleep cycles, our cells regenerate optimally. Sleeping before 10 p.m. leverages the nocturnal secretion of antioxidant melatonin, essential for combating cellular damage and maintaining youthful vitality. Going to bed very late can significantly disrupt the vital oxidative cellular cleaning process that occurs during sleep. This cleaning is essential for maintaining cellular health and combating the aging process. Conversely, waking up early, near dawn, has been shown to keep cortisol levels at an optimal high. Cortisol, often dubbed the stress hormone, is essential for various bodily functions, including activating the immune system, boosting metabolism, enhancing memory, and maintaining the immune system. Research has shown that individuals who sleep little and erratically tend to have shorter telomeres, a clear sign of accelerated aging. However, aligning sleep and wake habits with the solar rhythms, going to bed early and waking up with the dawn, can have a profound anti-aging effect. Prioritizing a consistent sleep pattern, ideally between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., can significantly delay cellular and tissue aging. If maintained over years, this regular sleep pattern can help preserve a younger, more functional biology for a longer duration. The regenerative power of sleep is not just a myth, it's backed by substantial scientific evidence. Sleeping during these hours allows the body to undergo essential restorative processes that repair cellular damage accumulated during the day, cleanse the brain of neurotoxins, and rejuvenate the body for the next day. Research also indicates that engaging in selfless social work and volunteering, offering community service, leads to longer and better quality lives. This impact is due to the direct effect on physiological, energetic, and psychological variables linked to longevity. Firstly, serving others without expecting a reward activates the vagal axis and enhances parasympathetic tone, which counteracts the harmful effects of chronic stress on the cardiovascular system and cellular aging. The hormones and neurotransmitters secreted during altruistic activities also exert an inhibitory effect on the development of cancer and autoimmune diseases. Moreover, an altruistic approach towards others' needs oxygenates our pineal gland, regenerating brain tissue and secreting neurochemicals like DMT, which expand states of consciousness connected with spirituality and ego transcendence, essential steps for psychophysiological longevity. Practicing daily gratitude has a demonstrable anti-aging effect at both the cellular and psychological levels. When we consciously cultivate appreciation for the positives in our lives, we generate a biochemical and emotional state that favors longevity. Controlled studies have shown that individuals who kept a gratitude journal for 2 months reported 12% lower levels of circulating inflammatory substances compared to a placebo group. This anti-inflammatory virtue translates into less senescent degeneration of tissues and joints. Gratitude also strengthens the immune system by elevating T helper lymphocytes, NK cells, and IgG cells, lengthening life by protecting us from opportunistic infections common in the elderly. Emotionally, genuinely appreciating daily blessings activates the brain's reward circuit responsible for well-being, pumping dopamine, serotonin, and endogenous opioids. This resultant positive mood reduces cortisol and the stress response associated with premature aging. Therefore, celebrating daily through prayer, conscious reflection, or simple acknowledgement of everything we have, from shelter and food to relationships and personal abilities, optimizes our quality of life and delays programmed physiological deterioration. Finally, both Ayurveda and Taoist traditions emphasize the importance of moderation and balance in maintaining a long and healthy life. All extremes can be harmful, ranging from absolute celibacy to sexual promiscuity, from a sedentary lifestyle to overexercising, and from high-calorie diets to very low-calorie ones. The optimal path lies in the middle, embracing a lifestyle of balanced moderation in all aspects. This principle of balance is crucial in preventing the body from being subjected to undue stress or strain, thereby preserving its vitality and delaying the aging process. This ancient wisdom, stating that excess in anything is detrimental, is now supported by scientific understanding that all biological systems function optimally within a narrow homeostatic range. Crossing critical maximum or minimum thresholds invariably leads to pathology. For instance, overeating can lead to metabolic disorders like obesity and diabetes, while undereating can cause malnutrition and weakened immunity. Therefore, it is advisable to eat until about 80% satiated, avoiding the discomfort of overindulgence while ensuring adequate nutrition. Similarly, maintaining regular physical activity is crucial, but it should be moderate. Excessive exercise can lead to injuries and stress on the body, while insufficient activity leads to a sedentary lifestyle, known to increase the risk of numerous diseases. A balanced sexual life is also important. Both abstinence and excess can have negative psychological and physiological effects. In work, finding a balance between professional responsibilities and satisfactory leisure time is essential for mental health and stress management. In every aspect of life, remember that the ancients advocated for moderation, nothing too much. This principle guarantees a long and prosperous existence, minimizing stress on the body and maintaining the balance of its systems. Singing and laughing often are not just social expressions but powerful anti-aging habits. Laughing out loud massages internal organs with the diaphragm while releasing a highly beneficial biochemical cocktail of oxytocin, endorphins, and dopamine. Singing requires deep diaphragmatic modulation, thoroughly oxygenating the cells and improving mood. The neuroendocrinology of laughter significantly reduces cortisol and adrenaline levels associated with chronic stress deterioration. It also stimulates the thymus and activates anti-tumor lymphocytes. Studies correlate a tendency to laugh, dance, and sing in old age with lower rates of dementia and greater psychophysical well-being, thereby increasing longevity. Therefore, make it a habit to laugh and sing daily. Hugging trees is another practice with profound health benefits. Trees, as long-lived entities, emanate a quantum efficiency and self-reparative energy. Embracing a tree allows us to subtly connect with its energy and vital consciousness, leading to improved cellular function through a phenomenon known as quantum entanglement. Culturally, old trees have been revered as teachers of longevity. Research has shown that spending just 15 minutes hugging an old oak tree can significantly reduce cortisol levels, thereby reducing chronic oxidative stress and inflammation. Additionally, connecting with the wise temperance and stillness of a tree through touch and presence can help order our internal energies. Regularly embracing ancient trees is recommended to keep our biology young and functional. Having a purpose and meaning in life is one of the most crucial factors associated with longevity, particularly in individuals who live beyond 100 years with mental clarity. Those who maintain meaningful projects, goals, or objectives to fulfill tend to have a stronger sense of purpose and transcendence. This sense of purpose provides a psychological buffer against stress, enhances mental health, and is linked to a lower risk of mortality. It can be found in various aspects of life, from personal passions and hobbies to professional achievements and community service. Cultivating a sense of purpose and meaning not only enriches daily experiences but also contributes significantly to long-term health and vitality. Beyond the personal realm, individuals often embark on a journey of enduring significance, maintaining profound causes that serve as the bedrock for their psychophysical motivation, compelling them to greet each new day with purpose. In the face of adversity, it becomes imperative to persevere, armed with a vision and mission grounded in selfless service, transcending the confines of ego. This infusion of life with sublime meaning and the subsequent spiritual realization contribute not only to comprehensive health but also to an augmented vitality. To navigate this intricate path successfully, it becomes paramount to identify the profound desires that act as guiding beacons for our actions. Understanding the unique contribution we are destined to make in this existence becomes pivotal, and regular nourishment through activities and relationships that resonate with our primordial existential sense emerges as a fundamental behavioral key. This conscientious approach serves to prolong our experiential stay, safeguarding and preserving what can be described as the sacred youthful spark within us. A crucial facet of this journey involves the art of forgiveness, an internal process that liberates us from the shackles of our past. The act of forgiving ourselves and releasing our grip on corrosive emotions like guilt, jealousy, resentment, or bitterness proves instrumental in decelerating the relentless march of time on our physical and emotional well-being. In stark contrast, holding onto grievances, akin to clutching onto a heavy burden, escalates oxidative stress and triggers chronic inflammation, setting off a cascade of hormonal and lipid imbalances connected to sympathetic activity. The profound act of absolution, extending not only to ourselves but also to those who have caused us harm, emerges as a potent elixir for inner peace. This transformative process operates by diminishing the levels of stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline, as well as pro-inflammatory cytokines, paving the way for a harmonious existence. Moreover, forgiveness isn't merely a psychological bomb. It is intricately linked to bolstering the immune system's resilience against formidable adversaries, including the insidious threat of cancer. In essence, the journey outlined involves a tapestry of intricate threads, each woven with care and intention. It is a conscious endeavor to live a life steeped in meaning, guided by profound principles, and sustained by the resilient spirit of forgiveness. As individuals tread this path, they not only navigate the complexities of their own existence but also contribute positively to the collective tapestry of humanity. Those who manage to forgive also synchronize their heart rate with the reparative frequencies alpha and theta, inducing cellular self-regeneration in a neuroimmunological process that prolongs optimal systemic functioning. For all this, centuries-old spiritualities emphasize the importance of compassion, detachment from the ego, and the consciousness of transpersonal unity with others to transcend aging and embrace our immortal nature. Beyond worldly resentment, living simply, Eastern spiritualities highlight the virtues of simplicity, austerity, and detachment as factors that maximize well-being and longevity. Reduce material possessions, avoid accumulating, simplify routines and diets, free up mental space and vital energy to focus on what is truly important. Lives overloaded with work responsibilities, social obligations, possessions to care for, and inconsequential activities leave little room for leisure, real enjoyment, and spiritual contemplation. Key factors for a long and blissful existence, simple habits allow us to savor the essentials of each moment, the warmth of the sun on the lawn, the sensation on the skin, and the harmonious singing of birds reconnect us with our primal nature. Beyond the unnatural hustle and bustle of modern cities, prioritizing quality over quantity, we will have more extraordinary lives. Accept the inevitable Buddha's last word before his Mahaparinirvana or final extinction was impermanence. Everything changes, and the only constant is change itself. Accepting it, we save a lot of useless suffering. Rejecting the inevitable is foolish and unhealthy. The wise centenarians who are better adapted psychologically tend to share the stoic attitude of embracing the vagaries of existence without resisting what cannot be modified. A positive outlook reduces the stress associated with trying to control the uncontrollable by surrendering serenely to the designs of the cosmos that govern the cycles of our nature. Music. Fighting instead of being disturbed, fighting battles lost beforehand, and science determine that moderate stress lengthens life, while distress shortens it. So let us joyfully accept change and impermanence, prioritizing positive relationships. Surviving successfully has a lot to do with the social factor. Epidemiological studies show that, controlling for other variables, those who reach very old ages usually have solid family ties and communities. Prioritize nurturing loving social relationships, avoid isolation. Multiple investigations correlate socio-affective integration with a marked protective antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and immunoregulatory effect. Being accompanied prevents stress and reduces the levels of corticosteroids associated with accelerated organic deterioration, even at the cellular and epigenetic levels. Regular interaction with loved ones activates the expression of genes linked to DNA repair, neuronal survival, and tumor suppression, crucial to prolong optimal biological functioning. For all this, cultivating quality bonds, nourishing those we love, and allowing ourselves to be multi-organ nourished are an indispensable part of the program. The most effective anti-aging that we can implement, the company is the best elixir of long life. Curiosity, mental clarity, and passion for living tend to deteriorate along with the body, But those who keep intact a childlike curiosity to explore the world and continue learning new things keep the flame of internal youth alive. Studies reveal that exceptionally functional long-lived people at very advanced ages share this quality of maintaining eager brains, inquiring minds, and an enthusiasm to cover and expand their abilities despite the years. They resist stagnating or abandoning their educational goals from a neurochemical standpoint. Nurturing intellectual interests and creative challenges favor hippocampal neurogenesis and cognitive plasticity secretion of key neurotrophic factors to stop senile brain deterioration. Preserving amazement and thirst for knowledge helps us prevent or postpone typically related disabling neurological pathologies. With advanced senescence, preserving the enthusiastic enjoyment of learning for longer is the secret. Number 20. Trust in innate wisdom. Finally, the 20th Zen secret to hack longevity lies in adopting an attitude of deep respect and trust in inherent wisdom, self-healing body, mind, nourishing ourselves, mobilizing, oxygenating, sleeping, and carrying out all daily activities with full awareness that our body intuitively knows what and when it needs each thing. Listening to the body's subtle signals and responding promptly to its demands for food, sleep, stillness, or exercise according to natural rhythms greatly enhances that intelligence. Innate ability to maintain the ideal homeostatic balance that maximizes all systemic functions, preventing physiological wear and tear associated with honoring the spontaneous self-correction that underlies cellular and organic self-regulation mechanisms. We consciously cooperate with our interconnected holistic nature to self-manage optimal, healthy, and prolonged aging. May this exhaustive step-by-step explanation of the 20 ancestral secrets for longevity be useful to you in your quest to expand your quality of life and delay the biological deterioration linked to the passage of time. I will try to answer any additional questions in the comments. Health and long life.